Hey guys, it's me, Terry of the Yarnjoy podcast. Welcome to WIP Wall Wednesday, episode number 20. Okay, so I reevaluated my WIP walls, my WIP wall, which I showed it to you in yesterday's room tour video. It was actually the room tour video part 2 is where I showed the WIP wall, I believe. And when I was doing a cleanup of my craft room after the holidays, I reevaluated the projects that were on that wall, and I come upon this project and I decided that this would be the next one that I was going to do. Now, back in May of 2019, I had to look it up, had to go back to find out when I did this, but I did a tutorial on a GraphGAN technique. I did not do a tutorial on the how to do this particular chart, but I just did a tutorial using this chart to show color changing in the traditional GraphGAN way of doing it. Where you do the single crochet and you read the chart, you work right to left and then left to right, you know, back and forth. And so anyway, this is what I decided to do because I did this image and then I just put it away and I never did anything with it. And so it was just a square, and I thought I would use this as a central square and someday make a blanket for it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is the square I'm going to do. It's this crab. Okay, and to me, I mean, this image, it looks like it is rectangular, but I counted the stitches per side, and there are exactly 70 stitches, okay, on each side, not counting the, I have a chain, just a chain, I think that's a chain 2 in each corner, okay. So I think it's puckering some. So I think it was the must have been my tension, or maybe the fact that I used a little bit different weight of yarn. I used this is Red Heart Super Saver in the colorway Turquoise. This color is, but then the red color is a Caron Simply Soft. And I don't know this color. It might be something like Harvest Red or something like that, because I was given several, you can see it right back there, that first cubby that's got the yellows at the top. Right there, I've got that red, and that's this. And I was given it to me by my sister-in-law, who picked up, I don't know how many skeins I have, probably 5 or 6, I'm not sure, and she got it like at a garage sale or something, but it didn't have a ball band. Well, I think one of them actually did have a ball band, but it's been so long I have since, I guess, lost it, because now they don't have any ball bands on there. So I do know it was Caron Simply Soft, and I think it was Harvest, something like a Harvest Red or something. Anyway, long tangent there. But anyway, so it did pucker on the sides, and like I said, I think it's because of the two different brands of yarn, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm going to use this, okay? Get all sidetracked there. But I'm going to be using this and expanding on it and making a blanket out of it, okay? And I'm hoping that the more rounds I go, it will lay down, you know, not have so much pucker to it. I think it'll lay down and relax. Of course, it hasn't been washed either, so that will help it. Okay, anyway, the pattern that I'm going to use is something I have used before, and it was called the Around the Bases blanket. I think it was a crochet along once upon a time. And each it's like a sampler blanket where you have all these different types of stitches, and it is a square blanket. And what I like about it, I think it's a great pattern because you start with any type of square. I mean, you start with your own square, and then you just continue on with their pattern, which is awesome. Because all you have to do is you have to end up with so many stitches per side. Okay, and if you don't have that, I mean, you can always kind of alter, you know, add one or subtract one here or there in maybe another round or whatever to get to that stitch count that you need, okay? And so when I finished this blanket, this piece, I did a single crochet round, okay, all the way around it, and I had the around the bases blanket in mind, and so I made sure that I had the proper number of stitches that I needed. Okay, so the stitch count that you need to start off the around the blanket, around the bases blanket, okay, the stitch count multiple that you need is each side needs a multiple of 6 minus 2. Okay, and so my piece right here has 70 stitches, okay, and you just don't count the chain that's in the corner. Besides that, you count all the other stitches, okay? And so I have 70 stitches per side, and 6 times 12 is 72, minus 2 is 70. So see, that works out. And so, and I will put a link below in the description box for this this around the bases blanket pattern, and I think the link that I will put is the introduction post, and so it talks about what you need to do to prepare your central square, whatever square you want to use, okay? And I think it's just fun. I enjoy this pattern, and it's very handy, I think, also because you can really kind of, you don't even have to go by the stitches, the stitch pattern that they have, not really, because at the beginning of each section, okay, so a little side note, it's called around the bases because I guess somebody was a baseball fan or something, I'm not sure, because each section is divided up. They don't say like part 1, part 2, they say the first inning, the second inning, like that, like a baseball game, okay? And so at the beginning of each inning, it has a stitch count, and it even has multiple numbers, like depending on, because it's going to be different depending on the size of your square. So actually that starting number is going to be different, because it may be just a 12-inch square that you're starting, 12-inch, or it may be a 6-inch square that you're starting with, you know, just as long as that stitch count has got the right multiple, okay? That makes sense. Like I said, I'll put the post to the introductory of the pattern down so you can read it and kind of understand better maybe than what I can describe. But anyway, at the beginning of each inning, each part, it has a list of numbers, and so you look for that number that your stitch side is, in other words. And so I looked up, I made sure, because it's been a long time since I've made this, and so I looked up first inning, the first part, and there was a list of numbers, and 70 was one of them. So I knew that if I had 70 per side, that it would work out. So I could go and do the first inning, okay? But you could actually think, well, if I don't like that stitch pattern, maybe I want to do the third inning. Well, you go to the third inning, you know, the third stitch pattern, and you just look at the beginning of that and see if you have the right amount of stitches per side that you need to work that. And then you can kind of alter your beginning round if you need to, you know, to get that number. I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't know how else to describe it. But anyway, I think it's a fun pattern, and I've done it several times. Well, actually, I think this might be the third time that I'm going to be doing this around the bases pattern. I know I've done it twice. I'm thinking it's the third time, not the fourth. I think it's the third time I've done it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do with this, because I still have both of these colors, a pretty good amount of them. And besides that, I'm going to probably add in, I can add in, you know, white. I can add in black because of the black that's here. I might try to add in some other coordinating type colors, possibly. We'll see how it goes along. That's what's kind of fun, because you kind of can plan it as it goes, like what color you want to put in next. So this is the project that I'm going to be doing and working on for WIP Wall Wednesday. So I hope that you will join me in as far as following along on my progress on this project. Now, I do WIP Wall Wednesdays every other Wednesday, so in 2 weeks I will come back and I will show you how much work I've done on this, okay? And so I hope, like I said, you follow along, and so that will keep me accountable in getting this project finished and off my WIP wall. I will probably because I was thinking probably a child would enjoy this blanket. And so I'm aiming to make it the size of probably a child or toddler, or you know, a young child size, and maybe donate it to Project Linus or some organization like that, possibly either that or the Aubrey Angels charity crochet that I also belong to, that happens to be here in my city, and they will take all kinds of crocheted items. So anyway, that's my aim for this project. So and I'm hoping that me doing this WIP Wall Wednesday project, or this series, that it will inspire you also if you have sleeping WIPs, which I've called this, because like I said, this is, I think I did this in May of 2019, so it's been sitting there since then. And so I'm hoping that it'll inspire you to go and look in your WIP bags and find something that you haven't worked on, that you don't want to frog, you really want to complete, but you haven't worked on it. So pull out those sleeping WIPs and work along with me, and let's get some of these projects done. Okay, so thanks guys for watching today's video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is Wednesday, so we're in the middle of the week, and tune in tomorrow and we will, I'll be back, and I will be doing Yarnjoy podcast episode number 186. So then you can watch and see what else I've been working on. So thanks for watching guys, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.